All right, hey everyone, this is Fire.and.flavor. My name is Matt. I'm your host, and today I'm with Thomas from Sizzle Funk. How you doing, my man?
Hi, Matt. How are you, brother?
Good man. Finally, good to meet you. I found you
Right.
on Instagram, and I was like, I love this guy's art. I need to talk to him. I'm gonna flash some of your art in this camera. It's
Nice, nice.
awesome, dude. So, yeah, what's up, brother?
Sunday. It's beautiful out in San
Yeah,
Diego.
yeah.
It's
I
nice.
not so nice here. It's still a little crappy out, but we have
Yeah.
sunlights.
We got a lot of plants, though. The
That is
plants are
true.
good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Gotta surround
That's th
myself with stuff I love, right?
that's therapy.
Heck yeah, man. So, I don't know.
Therapy.
Let's get it started, I guess, man. Just tell me about how you got on hot food and spicy food.
So basically, look, we were talking about the pepper mix, the pepper blend, the roasted
Yeah.
pepper blend. So what I used to do is I've been growing for years, and like I said, a lot of the things that we talk about, like you said, like what inspires you and all the things that happen in your lives. I think subconsciously things happen, right? So you have,
Right.
you're gardening with your grandmother, and then one day you're a chef. It's like, and you wonder where that came from. So my grandmother is Japanese. My grandfather married her and brought her over from Japan. She came from Yokohama. And so she was an avid gardener. She was in Sunset Magazine. She was constantly winning like all these farm reviews on all their canning. They had a root cellar. So as a child, we used to go up there in San Jose, and we would drive up there 9 hours and then stay with them. They'd always find me in the root cellar. So I was always getting in trouble because I would open up all the pickles and I
Yeah.
would open up the jellies, and we would always get in so much trouble. But we loved it. And to this, before they passed, before my grandpa passed, I went up there and all the Sunset Magazine stuff was there and everything. And I just started to think to myself, wow, what if they actually made a product like my grandma, like Marie Callender's or these iconic products? What if they actually did something with that? And what if they actually followed through on their passion and their love for gardening
Right.
and their small farm? And so I had a client one day. He came in with a little bottle of white habanero peppers, and we started talking. I said, "Hey, I grow peppers," and I was like, "I've been growing peppers for years, but I was letting them dry behind me here on my shelf for
Yeah.
6 months, and then I'd grind them down and I'd share them with the family because we all wanted better peppers for our pizza."
Yeah.
And the stuff you get from Felipe's or whatever, we just wasn't getting it for us. And so I started doing that for about 3 years. And then I said, you know what? One year I said, you know what? I'm gonna grow every flipping hot pepper that I could possibly grow.
Yeah, man. Told me to do it.
Just try it all. And so what I did is I went to my local nursery. They're the Walter Anderson's nursery. So Karen Thatcher, who owns Walter Anderson's, her dad started. It's the oldest nursery in San Diego. I've been going there since my first house. So I've been growing literally like when all my aunts and uncles and my sisters would come into my or my brother-in-laws would come in who all met my grandpa. They'd come to my first backyard and they would like, oh, well, this is just like your grandma's backyard. And I didn't plant anything I couldn't eat. So I planted,
Right.
raspberries, passion fruit, straw, anything. If a plant was going in my yard, I was going to eat it. It's
That's
like, hey,
awesome.
I'm giving you life. You got to give me life.
Right.
I'm a care for you. You care for me. And I think that's what our relationship, humans and our relationship with food is important. We want flavor, right? We want nutrition, and we want it to be, tasty, and we
Yeah.
want it to be interesting. You can't just eat like the same thing every day.
No, that's so boring, and like you really should be enjoying what you're eating, or else it just kind of gets miserable.
Exactly. So so COVID hit, and then when COVID hit, we are a commercial printing company, and not to get too deep in the printing company, we're a creative printing company. So what we started to do is about 15 years ago, we started to work with artists, and then we create websites for artists and photographers to sell their art print on demand. And I do a lot of things there in my business, what I do personally, and I'm just a creative person. So I'm a photographer, I'm an artist. I love to cook. I was going to be a chef. I wanted to be a chef. I started working with chefs. I was doing photography for chefs, hanging out with them, doing all their menus and their creative stuff, which is my personality. I have to always do something creative. If I'm not
Yeah.
being creative or anything, my life is boring,
No, I
super
oh,
boring.
absolutely, brother. And you know what? I'm gonna flash some of your art on the screen here.
That's Ron White.
Yeah,
Ron White design.
and but
I'm wearing a
yeah.
shirt, by the way, too. This is a
Oh,
shirt.
oh,
So
defend the arts.
then the
That's a
arts.
must, bro. That's an absolute must. So
So
yeah,
so
you
that
got a
logo
killer
came from this
artist.
shirt.
Oh,
This
that's sick.
shirt is because of, and so we've got the pepper on the side. So when I do, you'll see the hot honey. So the honey, you'll see there's
Oh,
a bee on the
yeah. Oh,
side.
I got him right here.
Right. Yeah. So me and so Ron just helped me do a cohesive brand. So, and I think a lot of times, like we could talk about branding and hot sauce and yeah, see the all the stickers and everything.
I
So I
love that
think,
stuff, man.
yeah, well, the branding on the Sizzle Funk. So this is based on the Korean flag.
Yeah.
So this is I married a woman who's Korean. So from Hawaii. She's a flight attendant. I met her on a flight when I was coming back from Kauai. And then I started, I didn't know about anything about Korean food. I've never had Korean barbecue. I'm 25 years old, 24 years old. And it's like, I just said Korean food. I didn't really know enough about it. But man, now, I mean, now with Netflix and the internet, Korean food is just
Oh
exploding.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
And I was
Especially
doing, yeah, go ahead.
wait. Oh, sorry. I'm just saying like tteokbokki
Yeah,
got really
yeah,
popular out of nowhere, and I think that
yeah.
was from the Squid Game or whatever. They were
Yes,
eating it.
yeah, yeah. Well, K-drama, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
me and my wife, that's our thing. She's a flight attendant, so she flies a lot. So we both watch the same dramas
yep.
together. She'll be watching it. But that's where a lot of this came from. So my mother-in-law started teaching me how to cook and teaching me how to, because she's in Hawaii and we're in San Diego. And when I go there, I love her food. But when I come home, I don't have her kimchi. I don't have her pickles. I don't have her radishes. So then I started to grow radishes. I started to grow pickles and I started to make these things. And my wife was like, man, these are really good. And so that's where the sauce came in. I said, okay, I'm going to start making things that reflect my family and reflect their heritage. And this is basically like giving like homage to my mother-in-law, who I
Yeah.
absolutely adore.
Oh, dude, this stuff looks phenomenal, and I think you're telling me that this was actually like a double ferment, right? The this
Yeah, that is two
on it.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a 2 month ferment. And then what I did is like all of my, so I started out, like we said, like if I kind of go in succession. The pepper is where I really started. And I only really was going to start and just sell pepper. That's it.
right.
Then I go, and then my son goes, well, hey, I like that hot sauce you made. Can you do that? And that was tropical heat wave. And it was just a tropical hot sauce.
Yeah.
And they were all fresh. Nothing was fermented. And then I started watching, God, what's his podcast? The guy out of Texas. He's, gosh, I can't think of his name right
Mug
now,
shake.
but he's amazing. And so I started to look at his ferments and I said, okay. And I started to see, okay, I guess, all right, I'm going to have to start doing fermenting. So I
Yeah.
made some hot sauces. I sold those. They were great. And then then right now, all of my hot sauces are going to be 50/50. The main body of it's going to be 80% ferment. And then
Yeah.
like, so with this one, with the Korean Soul Ablaze, I've got, all the stuff that I'm fermenting in here. And then I'm taking some of the same things, like I'm actually adding roasted garlic. I'll roast the onions and I'll roast the Korean chili pepper.
I
So
love
I do
that.
an essence of all of that roasted on top of it.
I love that, man. That sounds freaking yeah. There's a lot of love in this, and this is more of a side gig for you, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, I think so. I had a couple, see, because I know so many people in the creative industry and the arts and everything here. I know people that have like farmers markets and stuff. They want me to
Right,
come.
right.
I just don't have the time. I mean,
Yeah.
my fine art printing company. I'm really devoted to all my artists and the photographer people I support. So in the near future, I'd say probably about 36 months, 3 to 4 years, I'll be doing this more 50/50. And
Okay.
I'm just got people I'm training to run my machines. I run a very high-end Swiss Q print machine that
Yep.
just does things that it's the best fine art printer in the world.
And it shows, dude. It is.
So
I
yeah,
oh
the label, so that comes off our 10 color Epson. So this has white. It's a holofoil label,
oh
so it
yeah.
kind of glows in the sun.
Yeah.
And the only one I didn't do holofoil is just because I didn't have it at the time is on this one. So the Korean one will have it. I just didn't have any holofoil in it. And that's why these I don't have. This is a special edition. This was a blueberry. This was everything. So this is a blueberry habanero mainly. And these are the last habaneros and ghost peppers I had
Oh,
growing that year. And then I don't have labels yet. So I have to beg my niece Chantel to do my labels for me. And then they print them and give them to you. It's pretty funny. And I even, I did one on the top too. I love it. But
yeah,
a
I
lot,
noticed that. That's awesome.
and these are all I can't look when you're doing when you're own a business and you have a family. I have a
Right.
20-year-old Blaze, so a lot of this stuff is named after Blaze, my son. So it's like
Yeah.
Soul Ablaze, and then that's actually Soul Ablaze, the Korean writing. And I did the Japanese writing too as well because I really wanted to have authenticity, and so the authenticity is huge for me. So the gochugaru we source from our friends in Korea who have an organic farm, and they grow is just chili peppers, and it's in Busan.
Amazing. That's
So,
amazing.
so my wife goes there and she'll grab those. Kyoto, she grabs this. I had to order them from Amazon this time, but there's a packet we get. It's $10 when she's in Japan. It's $25 off of
Yep.
Amazon. But
Wow.
she didn't, I know she didn't have a trip. And I said, look, just get it for me on the next trip. And so, and then the Yuzuko is up here north. They're in Southern California and they grow yuzu, organic yuzu. And so for me, it's artisan. So that's
Right.
always the words I'm
100%.
looking for. Yeah, it's
Right.
just artisan. So there's a company here called California Hot Sauces. They're here in Oceanside. A
Yeah.
lot of people know them, and it's the hot sauce community is amazing. I love all these people. I love you. I love your
Yeah.
passion. I love how you would just talk about like what we love, right? And I mean, when you're gardening, it keeps you close to the earth. It
It
keeps you
does,
close
man.
to Mama Nature, you know. So these guys at California Hot Sauce, I talked to them first. I said, "Hey, I got this idea. I wasn't ready. I said, I got this idea. This is what I'm doing. I had all my recipes. I had my website up, and I didn't have anything done yet. And then so a year later, now I understand. Her and I went back and forth. You know, it's like $1,200
Yeah.
to do a test. But see, what happens is once you do that with that, that's like sriracha is sriracha.
Right. Right.
Once you can't really change it. So sriracha after what 20 how many years came out with a
Yeah.
coconut version.
Right.
So I'll have a coconut version of this, and then I'm gonna have a coconut version of my tropical heat wave. So I'm only focused on three hot sauces now. I thought I want to do like six, and I thought to myself, no, you're just one guy. Just focus on the ones you love the most, that are most diverse and have the most umami. So I
Yeah.
said, okay. So that's going to be the Korean, and then the sinner's last breath. That's going to be with the dragon's breath peppers. That's just going to be
Those are
something where
hot, bro.
you're just gonna question your whole
Yeah. Oh
thought
no.
process.
Oh, I've grown those before. Actually, no, I'm not growing them now. I grew them the last couple of years though, and they are so
Not
hot, bro.
Yeah.
That is
So
like,
I'm gonna have to do a batch or
yeah.
two that are gonna help me. So I understand the batch and what I'm gonna do with it. I've made it with other peppers. So
Okay.
I'm just going to take that and I switched that. I switched that whole thing and I said, you know what? I'm gonna pivot, which is again to my whole thing about people. Everyone keeps asking me. So my wife being a flight attendant, she's given a lot of especially the Korean one, to a
Yeah.
lot of her
Yeah.
flight attendant friends, right? And they're just like, oh man, they're already ordering off the site. They're looking at other stuff. They're complaining
Oh,
because the use are not ready. So it's kind of funny. So they're asking. So they said this, let's to level up. Well, small batch, right? You think what's small batch? How many bottles is small batch? A small batch is 1,300
right.
bottles.
Yeah. That's a lot still, you
Okay,
know?
I did 30 bottles.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
that's a small batch.
that's literally a small batch. Dude, actually, let's reverse for a second because the
Sure.
honey, I just wanted to point out, I love that detail there. It's kind of like weird, but the drips, dude. I
Yeah, that's
showed this to
Ron.
my buddy the other night. Oh, dude.
That's Ron.
Yeah,
Ron's amazing.
he is, man. That is so sick, man. I
Such a
can't get
creative
over
guy.
it. So cool, man. Anyways, sorry.
I
As you were
well,
saying.
well, it's like what we said. Like if you watch like the cooking shows, like remember
Right.
there's one the chef one, and so they get into what I love about those, and I'll watch them over. The last one was the one where they did on pizza, where they interview like five different pizza chefs. There's a guy in Kyoto who
Yeah.
makes pizza better than people in Italy, and it's the passion, right? And it's like so you watch those things, and you're sitting and watching the shows, and you're tearing up because they're talking about their childhood and when they took a bite of something, it reminds me of their grandmother or where they
Right.
grew up or that nostalgia, right? And so it's like, and then people like this guy in Kyoto who's just making pizzas, like it's like they're like angels made it. It's insane. The best pizza I've ever had was actually in the Haneda airport in Japan.
Really, really.
The, be- the, the best Italian food I ever had was in an airport in Narita.
That's so freaking
Or no,
funny.
in a hotel in Narita.
A
It was
hotel.
insane. Well, the guy comes out and he's wearing all Italian flag, Italian stickers, Italian everything. Place looks like Little Italy, but you walk through koi ponds and bonsai gardens to get to it. And it's this little hotel. But they're so passionate. And so being raised and having that Japanese influence, I grew up training in a lot of Japanese arts. I do bonsai. Again, creative things. I have all my bonsai around me.
Love that.
I love creative things. I love planting. I love gardening. So it's like I took all the things. I'm 56, right? Like what did Colonel Sanders started KFC at 74, 72?
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't think the age matters. And I think a lot of it has
Doesn't.
to do with our wisdom and our experience, right? You know?
No, it's about what you love doing, man, and spreading that love. And it's funny, my wife is Japanese,
No, nice.
and so I'm like surrounded by Japanese at work. Her grandmother was from or is from Japan. So
Nice.
like I get to go over there and she'll feed me and talk about all sorts of cool stuff, dude.
Different
Actually,
culture.
yeah, it's different. I love it. We're trying to go later this year. I've never been, and she lived in Nagoya for a little bit herself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm pretty
Haven't been to
excited.
Japan yet?
No, I'd love to. I've been practicing just a little bit. I don't know too much. I'm not quite conversational, but it's a very chisai.
Yeah.
Nihongo this,
Yeah. 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 My wife isn't language qualified, but my wife is actually, so her mom is Korean and her dad is Filipino Chinese from the Big Island.
Yeah,
And then so they met when he was a helicopter pilot during when he was in the military in Korea. And then they came back, and so she was born and raised in Hawaii. So she's Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, and Korean, but a heavy Korean influence since she's always, with her mom. And her mom is just an amazing cook. She had restaurants in Hawaii, and just that, oh man, just her passion for cooking, and like she never, measures nothing. Nothing. It's just everything's
good.
just a little bit of this,
She
a little
just
bit of that.
knows
Yeah, yeah.
family recipe.
She's it's hilarious. And then when she tries to, teach me, her English is like, I mean, I understand like every third word, but enough to communicate with her.
Right, right.
And I absolutely adore her. I don't think we do enough justice for the older people and the wisdom that are there.
No.
But Japan is a different. If you haven't been yet, oh my gosh, I've been to Japan more than a few times. We've snowboarded all the way in Hokkaido, so the food is different in all the different regions. So
Right.
now the last trip was Osaka, and man, the food, they call it Japan's kitchen. The
Really?
food is insane. And what's beautiful about Osaka, it's very similar to San Diego. So Osaka, it's very close to the ocean. So within an hour, you could be in the middle of the mountains petting deer, which is called Nara. So Nara is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. There's deer everywhere. And then there's like that's all the parks in here in the countryside, the farmland, and then Osaka is in the middle of the city. And man, the food. So at night, midnight, you're just walking through all the little streets and boroughs, and the food is just absolutely insane.
That's
And and and
amazing.
and the cost is completely. I mean, you would go the whole day and eat like six meals, six small meals, and spend like $30.
Yeah, I know. So like I'm lame. I watch a lot of like travel videos in Japan because
Yeah,
I want to like get prepared to go
Instagram.
and yeah, Instagram, yeah.
Yeah,
So like I
Instagram.
do like my Duolingo and whatever, but dude, I watch so much like Japanese vending machine videos. It's disgusting. It is like and like them going
That's
into the
so funny.
kombini. They go in the
Yeah,
kombinis and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this like cream thing with fish in it." I'm like, all right. But no, it's wild and they spend like no money, dude. They spend like no
yeah.
money. It's like, like
And you
two
walk
bucks for
everywhere.
like a thing. Yeah, absolutely. It's like two
You
bucks
walk.
for like a thing of noodles and pork or
Yeah, you
fish,
literally walk
whatever.
everywhere. I mean, so and that's the other thing too. When you're there, you eat and then you walk, then you eat and then you walk, and you're
Mm,
always so it's like you're always digesting your food. You're always hungry.
yeah.
It's
And
absolutely funny.
I don't know. I've been so intrigued for a long time. So like finally we're in a spot where we can actually save for this trip. So that's
Yeah,
kind of like our goal for like the end of the year. We'd like to go during spring to see like the cherry blossoms and stuff, but obviously
yeah.
it's spring now. So maybe if we save till spring, but I know it's like a dream.
Well, I've been in spring and I usually go in winter. So if you ever go in winter, Hokkaido, that's
Okay.
Niseko, northern Japan, and they're known for their ramen, for their ice cream, for their beef. Their farmland is amazing. Their potatoes, a potato crab. I mean, their seafood is insane. I've never had like Hokkaido is probably the best food that I've had when I'm in Japan. The food is good everywhere, but overall, if you on everything, it'd be Hokkaido because of the organic nature of it all. And the Japan, like I said, they just do it differently. I
I
mean,
really
it's
do.
inherent. Well, it's inherent in their culture to not poison each other. They're not using all the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers and stuff that we are. I'm sure they do, but most of their farming practices are better than ours.
Right. And it's always been like a horticultural
Yeah,
country. You know what I mean? Like they
yeah,
really pride themselves on just
yeah.
like growing everything and using everything and not
Yes,
being wasteful and taking
yeah,
care of their elderly properly. And actually, quick
yeah,
question. Do you
yes.
grow, I think I want to say you grow some, yeah, you do. Japanese
Yeah.
takanatsume
Here, give me
and
give me a second.
santaka.
I'll
Yeah.
grab these. Hold on.
Yeah. 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 Guys, this stuff looks awesome.
So the one seed company that I go to, you still there?
Oh, I'm here, brother.
All right, gotcha. So the one seed company I go here, I get this. I grow these. These are what's in the yuzu and hot, and then those. And I got the new babies growing. So
Oh,
these ones are good. So
oh, okay.
that's a taco natsumi, and then the santaka too. The santaka.
Santaka.
Yeah, and so I use it's called Kitasawa Seed Company, and then so I actually grow a lot of my gochu too, so I get the gochu from them too as well. But that Kitasawa, so they're in Oakland, I believe, and they're heirloom Asian seeds.
Oh,
So
sweet,
I've got a stack of seeds from them. But
bro.
then I shifted everything. So what I did is Walter Anderson's. I'm doing a in the spring this spring. I'm doing a class there on growing peppers. So in San Diego, one of the main pepper distributors stopped growing peppers because of what happened
Really?
with COVID and costs and all
Uh,
these things. And COVID is what pushed me into doing this. I was gardening so much. Like I was a printing company, so we during COVID we were deemed a essential business. So we were able to go all the time and work all the time, and it was all good. But our clients weren't. So then it allowed me to shift the whole business model to being more creative and to 100% art, which is great because that shift was liberating for me and for my soul, and it actually allowed me to do this. And then I started having dinners and lunch with my friend Ron, and I said, hey, I was thinking about doing this. He's like, let me do the logo for you. And I said, well, I really like this t-shirt. I wear this. I got like 5 of these from him. He has a whole brand of t-shirts. So
oh, really?
yeah, Ron's awesome. I tag him in all my stuff. I always talk. I'd love to have and see more hot sauce companies and people who are starting out actually care more about what they look like.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. That's something I really wanted to touch
We
on
buy
is
with our eyes. We buy with our
exactly,
eyes, you know?
exactly. And I've interviewed a few people now, and I love them. They put a lot of work into what they do.
Yes.
But like, I'll be honest. I don't mean this in any ill will if they're listening. It's just
Of
like
course.
the labels could definitely be better. If you're putting all your love into the sauce, if you're
Yes.
putting all this work into that one thing, why not
Yes.
just go the extra little mile and have a good
Yeah.
logo? Or not to say
Yeah.
the logo is bad, but put a little work into it and like you
Yeah.
know look at it through the eyes of a shopper, dude. If you saw your stuff on a shelf, would you just buy it randomly
Yeah.
or would you pass it by?
Yeah.
I
I
would see
agree.
this on a shelf and buy it. Um, I would probably buy the other stuff just because I love eating hot sauce too. But like,
Yeah.
it's if I saw something with a fancy label next to something that pretty plain, I'd probably go for the one with the fancier, nicer looking label. And
What
I'm the
we're
same way.
programmed to do that though.
Right,
See, I come from a marketing background,
right, right,
sales and marketing with my printing company.
right,
So I'm talking to people all day, every day about marketing themselves. So the first thing you do if you're an artist, and there's no different from art to this, it's the same
right,
thing.
right.
It's
It is art.
this is my art.
100%, 100%, brother.
So why would you not put your best foot forward on your first impression?
Right, absolutely.
And guess what? You're right. When you're there and it's on the shelf, guess what? Guess who's not there? I'm not there, but this is.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this has to speak to you.
Right.
So if you're Korean and you see this and there's Korean writing on, oh, okay. They don't think some white boy did this. They
No.
think some Korean dude did this or someone Asian. My
You're not
wife would
wrong.
laugh. My wife, that's my nickname for my wife, white boy. Hey, white boy. It
But
is what it is.
there's one other company I've interviewed, and I loved his labeling too. Like his
Nice.
marketing was great, and I
Nice.
straight up told him like, dude, this is great. Please keep. And the sauce was also fantastic. But
Nice.
again, dude, you know what I mean? It's like a matter of like what I'm looking at the store versus what's in front of me. Like, yeah, some of the other labels, sure, I see it at a farmer's market. I'll scoop
Yeah.
it up, but if I'm at like a store, dude, I'm probably gonna grab the one with the better, more polished label. And
Yeah.
that's not me just being like snooty. It's what looks appealing, in the eyes of a
Yeah.
shopper.
Well, I think again, it goes to like, don't do 50% of the job.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
do the whole thing. I mean, like for me, I'm sourcing the right stuff. I'm growing. See, I wouldn't do this if I wasn't growing it. If I'm not growing these peppers and if I'm not touching most of the aspect of it
Right.
all,
Right.
like I'm not growing the onions, I'm not growing the shallots, I'm not growing the carrots, but all those are bought organically down here at People's, which is an organic market down here. Or I
Yep.
go to my local farms, I got local farmers, Three Sons. There's a lot of people that I buy stuff locally from. And I mean, I've born and raised here in San Diego, and I know a lot of the local farmers, and so I'm always at the farmers market. My shiitake mushrooms is sourced locally through a local grower here in San Diego, so it's like I'm doing everything I can. When I can't, like pineapples, I got to go to Whole Foods and get organic pineapple. I
Yeah.
can't source that all
Absolutely.
the time.
It's not an easy
Hawaii,
one to just get, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you got to
yeah,
go to Whole Foods for some stuff,
yeah.
unfortunately. Um,
Unfortunately,
but
they don't have
yeah.
them all the time.
So like the state I live in New Hampshire and they make it extremely hard to do anything like that. So I tried to do a hot sauce
Yeah,
company probably like 3 years ago and I
Mm,
made my
mm,
sauce. You get to send it up to Maine to get tested,
mm,
and then
mm,
they send back the results for your shelf life, and then you have to like
mm.
get a commercial kitchen. They really want you to have a commercial kitchen, which
Yeah,
100% understandable. You don't want to be cooking stuff out of your home
yeah,
kitchen, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
But also, what was the other thing? They really want you to do co-packing, right? And
yeah,
me, being who I am, I don't want to do that. I want to do everything. I want to
yeah,
like cook my own. I want to grow my own, all the stuff
yeah,
that you're basically doing. So
yeah,
yeah, this is like you're like what I'm chasing for talking to people like you and other
yeah,
people too, of course, but like, people that are really going the whole mile when it's just like, essentially like
yeah,
either their side hustle or just even just their passion. It's like,
yeah.
man,
Well, even
spend
the
time
hot
on your
honey.
labels, guys. Yeah. Oh,
Well, even
dude.
the hot honey, there's that, if you go on YouTube, there's that older gentleman who is like the original hot honey tester. He's the one sending it to Nebraska State and
Yeah.
all these different places, and he's testing all the different variations. So I watched his YouTube channel for quite a while. I watched a lot of hot sauces. Texas, again, it's the Texas heat or something. I'll figure it out by the end of if not, I'll email you
Yeah.
and maybe you can put it in the credits. But that guy is really good. And it's just learning and understanding, like you said, shelf life. The reason why, fermented is better because the shelf life is longer. You got to cook
Right.
it. You got to cook it out. If you don't cook a fermented hot sauce, it's going to explode. There's all these
Right.
things that you learn. And I think a lot of times people are watching other people just to watch them make a mistake too. They're
Right.
like, oh yeah, he messed up, or they're
Absolutely.
watching you. So state to state, it's different. See, California, so in San Diego, you can get a license to cook from home,
Oh, it's
and you,
amazing.
it's called, gosh, it's a cottage license.
Okay. Yeah. What do they call it? Homesteading here is what they
Yeah,
call it.
homesteading. So you
Yeah.
can you can get it. I just happen to have a lot of friends who are chefs, so it's like it's okay. So I got lots of places to cook. I think that at the end of the day, you know, being a tiny batch for me, like as I grow into actual sizzle funk and creating something, and like you said, being a co-packing, well, the co-packing is hard. Like this would be very difficult to co-pack, and the reason why, when I spoke to the lady here at California Hot Sauce, we were going back and forth and on the emails. Again, it's very expensive to do it. Once the state tests it, that's it. You can't change the recipe.
Right. Exactly.
And then I'm like, well, and I just said, so I wanted to wait, and I'm not for or against it. I think there are a lot of hot sauces. I don't buy hot sauce commercially anymore.
Right.
I use my own product, and so every time I do a batch, it's especially because I'm growing them, it's always going to vary a little bit. It's
Right.
always going to be the base is there, pineapple, onion, shallot, carrot, all the bases are there. And I measure out everything ounces, especially in the hot honey and everything. I measure the ounces and everything like that. So it's just one of those things where I'm not ready for co-packing. And I think if you are ready, it's like you guys both know,
Right.
and you send
Absolutely.
it. They send it to the state. They do the same thing. They test it, and all. They get your label perfect. I use Reciprocal. So Reciprocal or I think that's the name of it. But you go in there and you type in all of your ingredients and how much you're using, and it gives you all your numbers and everything, your
Oh yeah,
calories and everything.
I've used that before. I have used
Yeah,
because I had like bottles and labels ready and everything, and I was good to go. But it was just like a matter of getting a kitchen that would let me use it for an affordable price because like my budget was very small at the time. So I'm
yeah.
hoping
No,
to go back to it eventually. But
one of the world's famous, the best Thai restaurant is here. They're like 5 minutes, like 10 minutes from my house, maybe. It's a Thai restaurant and they have a cottage license. They brought in a cottage over from Thailand, and they have dinners, and they're booked for a year out
dude,
plus, a
that's
year plus.
amazing. What? No
Oh yeah,
way.
she's an amazing chef. I'll have to drop some peppers off to her one day.
They brought a
So
house over.
yeah, they brought, it's like a little tiny, it's almost like not a hut so much, but it's like a traditional Thai house, and it's like that's where they serve the dinners.
That's
It's not,
freaking crazy. That's a state. I
yeah,
love that, dude.
dude, it's
I
insane. It's insane. So what was your biggest hurdle then? So that was one of your biggest hurdles, is the kitchen, is the
Yeah,
cost.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the cost of a kitchen. The place that I had talked to, I talked to a couple. I think I have better options now, and
Mm,
like I have a better budget now. But it's basically like they wanted me to pay like 4 or 5 grand for the year and be in there 12
mm,
hours a month,
mm,
and then on top of that, all like the state licensing stuff. And like,
mm.
I don't care about any of that. It's all worth it. If I had the money, I would throw it right at it. But it was just like, to me, I didn't see myself being in there 12 hours a month right off the get go.
Yeah,
Just being
yeah,
like a small business. So like I didn't want to
yeah,
get stuck with, all this
yeah,
stuff and have to keep producing it.
yeah,
When I don't even
yeah,
know, like I'm sure I could sell it no problem because the demand was there, and people still ask me all the time, "Hey,
yeah.
do you have any hot sauce? Are you gonna make hot sauce?" I'm
What were
like,
you
"Well,
making? What was your favorite?
I made one called the Umami Mami, and it was a black garlic sauce,
Mm,
and it was very mild. It wasn't that hot,
mm,
but we had another set, but the whole thing was keeping the heat with the flavor, right? So we had
yeah.
the Friendly Reaper series. So it go
Friend,
from yeah, it go
friendly
for
reaper.
yeah. So it started at the Friendly Reaper, which had Reaper in it, and it was still friggin' hot. It was like a garlic hob Reaper
Oh,
sauce. Um, so yeah, so Friendly Reaper, the not so friendly Reaper,
yeah, yeah,
and I forget what the last one was called. The Impolite Reaper, I think,
yeah,
and it, that had Scorpion and Carolina Reaper,
yeah,
and then the not so friendly, just like a step up from the
yeah,
friendly. So it was just like in succession of heat,
yeah.
just get hotter and hotter, but it kept a very strong like garlic flavor to it. So it was
Yeah,
like it.
yeah,
It wasn't like it was like very thick or mashy. We'd like strain out probably like 70% of the mash and keep some in there just to kind of
yeah.
like we didn't do ferments or anything, but
Understood. Yeah, you
the
have to strain that.
yeah,
That's what I didn't like about the fresh hot sauce.
yeah,
It was too thick.
yeah,
So I started to understand. So what I actually do is I'm in a commercial blender. So what's really cool is my relationships. Like I said, I know a lot of chefs. I'm still friends with a lot of chefs here. Some have moved. Some moved to Washington. They were on actually the you know culinary shows and everything.
yeah, yeah,
Chef Chad White and some of the local chefs here in San Diego. It was all my relationships that I had gathered over time and the passion for food and helping people and everything. I love that. And it's like, I, I think that it was important because I started to learn and understand why and how others are making their sauces from like you have the like the guy in Texas. I always like to refer to him because it's like he still makes and cooks out of his home, out of his house, but he has
that's
commercial
something.
kitchens, obviously.
Right,
But
right.
for the sake of the people like us who are making smaller batches, he breaks it down for people. And he was talking about, fermenting, the salt. I mean, even just the amount of salt you're putting, the type of salt and the water and everything. It's really important to that you're, that what are you using to, for the bacteria and to kill stuff and,
Right.
and all the things that you need to so you don't make people sick.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know and I think a lot of it just has to do with learning, and a lot of people
Absolutely.
gatekeep. They gatekeep. They
Yeah.
don't tell, and I don't want everybody to know. I put all my ingredients on these, but I'm not telling you what I
Yeah.
did.
You're not doing like the proportions, your cooking method, all that stuff. And yeah, it's super important not to give that information out if you're trying to like hold
No,
on to something like that, you
no.
know?
So I learned that. So the only thing, so the thing is, like other ones, it'd say at the bottom, shake well. So that's when you can or cannot refrigerate these if you don't want to. But there's
Right.
no preservatives. I mean, the fermentation is the preserving process, and the reason I switched to fermenting is because I wanted a smoother consistency, and I wanted it to have a better shelf life, and I didn't want too much vinegar flavor. So it was a win-win-win. And the consistency came from what I learned from the guy in Texas was xanthan gum. So
Yep.
xanthan gum is gonna and so I actually ferment and then I blend and then I put it in the pot. And while it's in the pot, I take the big immersion blender and keep blending. I want a really smooth blend. Like you still get, like I'm looking at it, you still get some of the, particles and pieces of
Of
pepper
course.
and everything. But at the end of the day, you just want a nice, smoother feel. And that way people can control how much. The other one is funny, you beat on it and because it
Yeah.
was so clumpy and it all fall out. So
Yeah. Or
it's a,
sometimes they like put a fun stopper on it, like those little like
yeah,
circle thingies. And
yeah. Which sucks. And that's why. So you have the original hot honey, but I'll tell you right now, I tried I've had the yuzu hot honey for a while, and I just started putting it because I was waiting for my actual honey to come in. And I've tried this one 6 months ago, and I like it, and would just make it for the family. And then the Korean one, I started in the back of my mind, I started to think, and I'm not changing anything with this one. On the hot sauce, I'm putting more gochujang because I want more of a Korean
I
flavor.
love the gochujang, man.
Yes, there's not for me. Again, this is again, if I went to the state and I did it and that's my license and I can't do it, I can't change it, I'd be screwed right now.
Right. You'd have
You
to
know?
just try to send it and rename it and all this stupid
Yeah, and all
shit.
this, oh, I got to do this. So I
Yeah.
think at some point, if I can get this, like if I would have to choose, I would do one and I would do this and I would try to get this one co-packed because that one could, I think this has a chance for commercial viability.
Okay. So you would like consider this like your flagship. This is like
Yes, that's
nice.
it. That's the
Dude, it's a
flagship.
beautiful dude. It is I can't wait to
When I
taste this.
when I get the tropical, and I'll send you the Korean and the hot honey. I'll send you those,
Oh,
and then
please.
when I do the tropical one, the ferment. So this one is going to have a Korean. I'm going to do not Korean, but a coconut. So sriracha just came out with a coconut. So this one I'm going to do a coconut version of this and a coconut version of the tropical heat wave because coconut tropical you can't. I mean it
Yeah.
goes hand in hand.
Oh, that's so weird.
It's
Have you
going to be
tried it?
interesting. I
Have you
haven't
tried
tried it
this?
yet.
No.
Nope. No.
I just oh fuck
The
man.
coconut
I,
sriracha I tried. It was
oh
good.
okay.
It's
Yeah, it
good.
was good.
I don't like sriracha. It's one note.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't like sriracha.
You don't like
I
that.
burnt out on it years ago. I used to date a
Fair.
Thai girl and that's all we had all the time with Thai food is sriracha. So I just got burnt out on it and but it's so that's what I was trying to create. I was trying to create things that kind of hit different notes. And then what I do is my wife is being Korean, she's super blunt. So it's like she'll tell me the truth. If it tastes like shit and tastes like junk, she'll tell me I don't like this
Good.
and this is why.
You need that, man. You
Well, you need
definitely
honesty.
absolutely like so I feel like not enough people want to hear that when they're making something like this. They just want to hear, yeah, it's good, but it's like you
Yeah,
need those criticisms, man, or you're not gonna fine tune your stuff. I've
exactly.
definitely talked to some people where I'm like, do you like give it to your friends and family to try and get their, like
Yeah, get your
opinions and
opinions.
yeah, and he's like, no, not really. I'm like, okay, that's cool, man. It works. This
Yeah.
stuff's good, but I would be giving that to all my friends. Be like, what do you think? Tell me right
Yeah,
now.
because we're gonna make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if without the mistakes, how do you learn? How do you
It,
grow? How do you
right.
change? How do you
It,
perfect?
and everyone has a different like heat threshold, man. What's hot to me
Oh, right.
is wicked hot to some people, and
Yeah.
what's not hot to me is really hot to people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've had a few people. So my friend, my son, he's 20, Blaze. So Blaze's friends, they all claim to like hot sauce. I got videos of their friends soaking their after they eat my stuff with their lips on ice. So oh, I could take hot sauce and I'll do it, Dad. And so I've had a lot of them message me, hey, I tried your tropical heat wave, and man, that was super spicy. So I had 30 ounces of peppers in there. So I cut that back down to 16. And even in the yuzu, there's only 6 ounces of, but it's this one is a bunch, but there's four or five. But the main is the peach scorpion and the Thai scorpion.
Nice.
And yeah, and I don't use like I use habaneros that I grow, but I'm doing chocolate habanero, white habanero,
Yeah,
red, and orange. And I only have one orange habanero because like habaneros are the most overused
they
pepper
really are.
commercially.
They are. They are.
And the hot honeys, what are they normally using in hot honey? They're not using real peppers. They're
No,
using
you're like
extract.
extracts, yeah, or oil and I bought one from the Heatonist and it was Pepper X pepper honey, hot honey.
Yeah.
Bro, that was not spicy. That was not hot. I ate so much of that stuff.
Hmm.
I barely got a tingle from it. And Pepper X is supposed to be like the,
Yeah. Can't get it
record,
yet.
the
Yeah.
official record. You can't even get
2.6.
it. Two
Is it
points,
2.6?
close to 2.7. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's high up there, man. But I mean, you and I know as people that grow chilies, there's definitely something, if not that hot, really damn close to it
So
out there. Like the
I slice a pepper off of everything I eat.
yeah,
Everything I grow. I take that pepper and I just do a little slice. On the
yep,
hotter ones, the Reapers, I just do a little tiny,
yeah.
just enough to put it on like a pinhead on my tongue just to feel the what it's
Right,
gonna
right.
do. And I've slowly worked up like a jalapeno to me is a bell pepper. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
have any heat to me. But I think that and what I try to do, which goes into what I was telling you about Walter Anderson's, is what I wanted to see in my grow area. What would come back the next year?
Right.
And like what plant was just going to die out on me and what was hardy and what wasn't. And I can tell a lot of people right now, there's 5 varieties that I grow and I have all the plants. I'm looking at them over there. They're growing right now. So I regrew about 6 varieties because I wanted more of them. And Tabanero was one of them. The Tabanero was the sweetest, most versatile, best pepper I grow. I love that
Really.
pepper. Yeah, it's really, really good. The Thai scorpion is great, but the habanero just is very versatile. So it's a mixture between the Tabasco and the habanero,
Oh,
and I absolutely love it. And I wish I had 20 plants.
what's the shape like?
It's like a small little tiny pepper. I wish I
Oh,
had one.
cool. Is it like just like a little like Thai chili looking thing,
Yeah,
or
yeah, but
okay?
it's only about an inch. And I only had one plant that to germinate. The other one
Okay,
didn't germinate. So I germinated about 100 plants. I gave a lot away last season. And out of 100, I got about 35 plants here.
that's
And
awesome.
I'm growing right now. I'm growing 12 plants right now. And I have a lot left in the freezer. So what I do is so my thing for the heat I have is I'll dry them. I bought a big dry, obviously a machine to dry everything.
Yeah,
And then after I dry them, I roast them for a certain amount of time. And some I roast and some I don't. So I just want this balanced, nutty flavor. So that spice goes on. I use that every day. So if I make a salad, a tuna salad, any type of salad with fish, that goes on there. Any fish, any steak, and anything that I'm using that could use heat, I put it on there. Like salads, my favorite thing on salads now is heat. The hot honey,
yeah.
the yuzu honey. I put that on the yuzu honey on salmon, and then put that over greens.
Okay,
Insane. So I'm a
okay,
chef by heart. I want to do that, and I'd love to do a whole kitchen series and just start using my products how they do that, right?
yeah.
Hey, this is how you can use my product, but I just don't have the damn time.
Hey man, that's what I'm doing here. You're gonna tell me how to use some of this stuff, and that's what I'm gonna do after.
Well, the Korean hot honey. So that one's gonna be really, really good as a compliment in a barbecue sauce. So when you're
Okay,
barbecuing, or even of course fried chicken, any
yeah.
any fried chicken.
Hey
But
man, never go wrong.
but I literally just showed you a picture. I made a tuna sandwich. So my tuna
Yeah,
is funny. It's like my wife literally laughs at me, and my niece laughs at me when I make my tuna fish because I put everything under the sun. I've got German mustard that Tina brings back from there. I've got capers, green
yeah.
olives, everything. I grew radishes. I have some radishes in there. Celery. I put all that stuff in there. Pickles, pickle juice, and I put all this stuff in there. And I just put the Korean hot honey on the sandwich, and it was absolutely insane.
Okay,
It was insane. I just tell everybody, hey, look, be creative. Do
absolutely,
something different.
absolutely, man. That's what I'm saying, dude. I
Do something
um,
different.
I could eat hot wings any day of the week. Um, and I've eaten a
So
lot
I
of hot
think I'm
wings
gonna
lately, brother.
I haven't tried it yet, but I'm gonna try it. So I want to take the Korean hot honey,
Yeah,
the Korean hot sauce, and then put those in my favorite barbecue sauce, like your Baby Ray's or something.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
ones that have like a cinnamon base.
yeah.
Um, and because there is cinnamon in the hot honey, so I want to take those. So 25% hot honey, 25% my hot sauce, and then 50% of the barbecue sauce, and then use that as a barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
And I
man.
think summertime, it's right here. It's coming around the corner.
Absolutely,
Summertime.
brother. Absolutely.
I, this is my first summer I've had with like my full products, and I have a coffee rub coming out, which is what I originally wanted to do first. So I have a guy who owns a coffee roasting company here, so I'll do a
That's
coffee rub.
sick.
So espresso coffee rubs are my favorite. I'm like how some people collect like salts or something. I collect salt and I collect coffee rubs. I love them. And then I started making my own. I started going, okay, I gotta do this. I'm gonna make my own. And then I have a salt called Midnight Heat. So
Yeah.
that's a black salt from Hawaii, Kiawe salt, and then a smoked black salt, and I'm gonna mix that with my peppers. Keep it really simple. There's a company called Saltverk that the guys up in Iceland.
Yeah.
I'd love to use their salt, but man, it's so expensive. I can't afford it right now.
Yeah. Probably would be an arm and a leg different and get imported over here,
It's like
huh?
$365. It's I
It's
can't
like
remember, but
the
it was a
Wagyu of
lot.
salt.
Yeah. They were on Gordon Ramsay, but I mean, I have some of their salt that I bought for myself that I
Right.
absolutely love, but it's just finding the right mix of things. And so I've got the Hawaiian salt. That's easy. The biggest thing that's holding me up is just the labels.
Right.
We're busy. We're busy at work.
Yeah, man. Hey, you got another job, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
I love
and
it,
that,
man.
but that's like the evolution of what everybody's talking about. You start with something that you love, and then you figure out a way to make it happen. And I just think, without getting deep in that, I believe in manifestation. I believe in like
Absolutely.
if you constantly see yourself doing that, if you constantly see yourself standing there, it's like when I was growing up training. And we were fighting my son. So my son was wrestled for years. So we started him at 4 years old. So he would come naturally roll with us. And then from 4 years old, up until high school, he was a wrestler. So he was a wrestling champ, but they would do the thing. They'd lay on the floor and he'd talk him through the thing. See yourself on the podium. See yourself raising your hand that you won. See yourself winning. See yourself choking the person. See yourself pinning him. You have to visualize everything. So
Absolutely.
everything that I did was a visualization. So one of the things that I do that I'm passionate about is I train, I work out.
Yeah.
So I walk 5 miles almost every day. I have a sauna suit that I wear and a 30-pound pack, and I walk 5 miles. And when I'm
Yeah.
walking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking.
What were you doing yesterday? Was it Filipino knife training or some crazy shit, dude? I'm like,
So so, yeah. So again, this goes back to my so when I was 17, I met a friend of mine from high school. Said he was training with this Filipino guy out in where we're at in Rancho Penasquitas.
yeah,
And so I went to go train with this crazy guy. It was called Kajikimbo. So Kajikimbo is a street art. It's a hardcore street art. It's like the first MMA fighters.
yeah,
So, and I don't want to get deep into it because that's super personal and it's like part of my
right,
past, but I still
right.
train and I still teach. And it's not really about me anymore. It's really about the people I help now. So for
Yeah,
me, I did that. And for Filipino stick fighting in knife was because I guess I grew up watching Black Belt Theater. I grew up watching all the samurai stuff,
yeah,
anime.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
all that. I grew up watching their original Iron Chef, which every Friday night, me and my boys, my sons would sit down and watch Iron Chef.
Yeah, man.
Back, the original.
Yeah,
So, and then I was excited to go to Morimoto's place in Hawaii when that opened up. So it's just, I want to be and do things where people are passionate. So what training taught me, and I trained hardcore for years. If I told you all the sleep deprivation, 3-day trainings and all the crazy stuff that we did, people would think I'm lying. And it's like, so I literally, and I'll tell you one story. We had some ex-SEALs that were no longer SEAL training. They were no longer active duty. They were still in the military, but they're active duty in the military, but they weren't active with the SEALs. They came to one of our training. I was 19, and they just came to one of our Friday night trainings, and a lot of the Navy guys would train with us, just to stay in shape. And we would run. After the run, they quit. They said, "You guys do this? We were paid to do this as SEALs. Why would you put yourself through this?" And we're like, "What are you talking about?" So I was in really, really good shape when I was a kid, and then I just got out of shape. And out of shape, I devoted 18 years of my son's life to him. So he woke up at, I mean, my son is amazing. I'll talk about him and stuff. And everything I did with him was intentional. I read to him every day from day one. So every single day he was born, we read a book. And so he was advanced in reading. He loved to read. He liked to write. And so then I intentionally had him come watch me train all the time. He didn't train a lot of the Filipino knife and anything. They did judo, jiu-jitsu, Thai boxing, and wrestling. And then I wanted him to be in the wrestling club and the wrestling team and wrestle in high school because if you're a wrestler, people are going to question whether they're going to mess with you right off the
right,
bat.
right.
And so Blaze was the champ at 100 at his weight class from 10th, 11th, and 12th in San Diego. He was at one point he was ranked 22nd in the United States. His cousin, uh, Corey Cabanban, him and his brother are four-time state champs in Hawaii. His brother's like one
Oh
of only
wow.
three in the history. Yeah, Corey, he's in Ohio right now. He's an amazing wrestler. So wrestling and training, I think they all go hand in hand. The way I live my life, the way I do my sauces, the way I do my business, the way I work with anyone, the way I talk to you, and the way we work. You've seen it from my messages and everything is spirit,
Yeah,
mind, body. If you're not,
absolutely.
you can't just be spiritual and ignore your body and your mind. And vice versa. It's a triangle. So
Yeah.
the triangle is the Filipino martial arts. So Filipino martial arts is these guys beat the Spanish with a stick and a knife. And it was all dances. They were all dancing. They were just dances. They thought they were dancing in the fields, but they ended up whipping everyone's butt with that. And so I never go anywhere. I'm never,
Oh,
I'm always ready. It's part of my life. I
there it
train
is.
and then at the end of the day, I've trained with some amazing guys, Charles Martinez, Willie Loreno, Neri Babao. If anybody knows Filipino stick fighting and martial arts, they know these guys. So Charles
I can.
Martinez he trains, he has his Atlas gym. He's back in Virginia Beach right now. He's in San Diego. He's an ex-submariner. He's my acupuncturist. He's the one who got me through COVID, got me healthy. My
Awesome,
shoulder
brother.
is messed up. Everything was messed up. So we just started talking about all the mental health part. Because as men, right? Men need other men to commune with, to go fishing with, to go drink with, to go hang
Yeah,
out with, and through COVID, man, a lot of people were what? They were depressed.
yeah. Staying at home by themselves or just, with their, just not doing anything. Some people lost their
Yeah.
job, everything, man. What a
Mental
crazy
health is
time.
huge.
Yeah.
So part of my mental health is my working out, but my mental health is growing peppers and then
Same, brother.
test. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's
Insane.
fun. Yeah, I get kind of like, I was always, when we were training, my instructor would say, never tell anybody you train, just keep it to yourself. And he was really hardcore. I'm still scared of him. My son is still, he trained my son. My son is still terrified of him. He's a very intense person. He doesn't like anyone to know who he is. He doesn't care
Yeah.
about that. He never put his name on the back of anything. I trained because I wanted to constantly push myself to see what I was capable of and
Yeah.
how much pressure and how much intensity could I do and still come out okay.
Absolutely.
So that's why I do it. I mean, I surf. I mean, out there, I have a water housing. I'm in the water shooting ocean photography and waves. And I just, at the end of the day, I just want to leave a little piece of me here. Like, 30, 40 years, I might not be here anymore. I mean, tomorrow's not promised, right? But
All right.
in essence, let's say I'm gonna live a long, full life, 85, 86 years old, man, I only got 20, 30 years left, if that. So it's like, I just want somebody to have some lingering remembrance of the essence of who I was. So be it through my hot sauce, through my photography, through my art, the way I train people, who I taught. And then, hey, who taught you that? Oh, this guy, back in the day taught me that. So I just wanted that. And I wanted to push that to my son. So subconsciously, with my son, I always told him that McDonald's had like rat brains in it and everything. He hates McDonald's. He hates fast
Oh
food.
man.
So I don't eat fast food. I barely eat processed food. I drink water, coconut water. I don't drink alcohol. I quit drinking 2 years ago. And I just dumped all my passion and everything into the people I help in my business and into Sizzle Funk.
That's awesome, brother. I
Yeah.
really love what you're doing. And, like you were saying, growing peppers is your mental
Oh
health,
God.
right? So like I
Oh
started the
man.
same thing during COVID, like, well, like towards end of it's still COVID,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right.
2021-ish.
Never not gonna be.
Yeah. 2021 I started growing peppers and started trading seeds with people, and just like
Yeah,
I have
right.
a folder like that, or it's like a bag like that fat
I have
just
the
full.
same.
And I actually I don't have it on camera here. Actually, maybe I can show you if you can see
Yeah.
it.
Let's check it
See
out.
that my like tent over there? Can you see that? Sorry,
Yes,
my camera
yes.
kind of sucks.
I could say.
But yeah, so I had a bigger one at my old place, and then I moved, and I ended up hold on here.
Where did you get your seeds from at first? Who were you getting your seeds from?
Dude, I made the mistake and I went to Pepper Joe the first
Oh,
time,
Pepper Joe, yeah.
and
Pepper Joe.
because they have that
Everybody knows
really,
Pepper Joe.
really, really fancy website,
Yeah.
and I got a few things and they did not grow out to be what they were supposed to be.
Oh,
Head
wow.
head out, yeah, head out to Reddit and Discord. I don't know if you ever use Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Um,
familiar.
so I go onto that, and that's what everyone says, dude. It's like, yeah, oh, you got Carolina Reaper seeds from them. Like, I wouldn't get them from them anyways. But just for instance, they're like, oh, how'd your habaneros turn out?
Oh
Shit
my
like
God.
that.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So
God. I've never
then
heard that.
yeah, yeah. So then I found out I started going to like whitehotpeppers.com.
Mm.
Phenomenal. They have so many just like weird, funky varieties.
White hot pepper. I haven't heard of
Yeah,
those.
white hot peppers,
I'm gonna
super
write that
good.
down. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, please do, dude. They do
Awesome.
isolated and non-isolated seeds. I've never
I
had an
got you.
issue.
I got you.
What else? Baker's Creek. I don't know if you ever seen them, or rareseeds.com.
Mm.
Beautiful catalog, bro.
Rareseeds.com. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So I have come from there. Hippie Seed Company. They're from like
I,
Australia.
I've seen hippie seed.
Yeah. So like I've gotten stuff from a bunch of places, and I've traded with a lot of people. Like back in the
I
day,
haven't
the
I haven't
King
traded any yet.
Stars. King Star Lemon Starburst was like little
Yes.
yellow. So
Yes, I have those. I'm growing two of those.
you used to not be able to buy them. You could only trade to get them. So that's all the seeds I have from the for
Mm.
that. I had to trade to get at the time. And now you can just buy them from people. Because like the whole thing was, and this
Yeah.
goes back to like how like funny chili heads are. Is like a whole honor thing of this guy that bred this
Yeah.
pepper. He's like he didn't want anybody to like have to
Yeah.
pay for it. He's like
Yeah.
gift it, or
No, it's
gift it or trade it, whatever. Just don't sell it. But of course, somebody had to go and sell it. So eventually, he's like, I get it. Times are tough. You can sell
yeah.
my seeds. No hard feelings. So now you can just buy
Yeah.
them. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
but. Like, yeah, it was like a special thing.
Well, I think you're right. You're right, though. The pepperhead community is interesting. It's like when
Yeah,
I first started doing it, and so when I started my Instagram, I was very intentional with everything. Like I said, I like to live with intention, and that's the Japanese part. It's like,
right.
like when we were like 19, right? And like 17, 18 with my friends, and we're just a bunch of teenagers, and my our instructor would throw a bunch of stuff on the ground, a bunch of paper. And he's like, okay, now take your right foot and step on the right paper. Now take your left foot. Now focus on what you're doing. And we're like
Yeah.
looking at each other going, what an idiot. This is stupid. But then now I'm talking about it now, and it's
Yeah,
funny because that's how you should live your life. Be intentional with it. And it's
absolutely.
okay to go out, have a good time, let off steam,
Of
whatever.
course.
But like you said, tomorrow isn't promised. So for us, it's like I really want things to be intentional, and that's why I scaled back what I really want to do. I only gonna have 3 flavor profiles of hot sauces, 3 hot honeys, and 3 spices. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't want to do any more. I'll do the coconut versions of them, but they're all essentially going to be the same. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to have coconut cream in them. That's it.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna do. And I'm sourcing that now. I haven't decided on where I'm gonna get the coconut cream yet. So I'm asking my some of my Thai friends, and my son's actually in Thailand right now. Blaze is in
Interesting.
Thailand traveling. Yeah, so he's showing me pictures of all the food and everything. But back to the pepper seeds, I want to
Yeah, yeah,
tell
yeah.
people because if people are listening to this, and I want them to understand there are other people out there. I get from Scoville in Canada.
Yep.
That guy is amazing. He answered all my questions. He was the first person that actually gave me a lot of the information and shared, didn't gatekeep anything. He really helped me do everything. And then Pepper Merchant, they're
I know
back
Pepper
east.
Merchant.
He's awesome. They're
Yeah,
so that's
I actually
they're good
converse with
people.
him sometimes.
Good
So like
people.
I have a other Instagram account. It's spice_hed where I have
Okay.
all my pepper plants. I'll get to you later, but I have
Yeah.
all like my pepper plants on there as I grow, and he follows me on there, and I follow him, and then we also will go back and forth on the
Yeah.
Discord sometimes. Uh,
I'm not on Discord a lot. I
great
mean,
great community, dude. Yeah, I
yeah.
mostly use it for gaming because I'm a huge nerd, but I
That's good
the
though.
Pepperhead community's on there, so I was like really into that for a
Yeah.
while. And yeah, I will say within every subculture there are elitists, but I have found the least amount of elitists within that
Yes.
subculture.
Yeah, because
Everyone's pretty helpful and
no, they are. I think it's important. Like I'll share any information with anybody.
right,
About growing. I'm not an expert on anything by no means. I'm not an
right.
expert on anything. I am just simply trying to make something that's tasty, that's organic, that's not processed. And
Absolutely.
and and the reason I like honey is because if you go to honey, man, you can go back to honey, find honey in a cave from 5,000 years ago, and it's still honey.
Yeah, man. It
And
never
and
goes
it's
bad.
the properties of honey is absolutely, and so I eat honey every day, and I do a tablespoon of honey every day and olive oil. There are certain things I do, supplements that I take, and things that I take that your body needs. And
Right.
honey has so many antibacterial, all these different things. And bees are amazing in what they
Right.
do. Not to get off the subject, what I wanted to go back about the labels, which you didn't touch
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
you touched on, I touched on. I've done it. We've done it because on Discord and everything, I had all the things that you can do. You have to join Discord and then you can go into AI. So
Yeah.
everybody and their brothers using AI for their stuff. And I tell people, hey, that's okay because I'm in the business. And so artists, all the artists I work with absolutely hate AI. I don't
Yeah.
hate it. I don't love the art aspect of it, but what I do love is I love ChatGPT. So I have
Right.
ChatGPT Pro. I pay for the highest version through my business because it allows us people who own businesses who have I have a family. My wife's a flight attendant. She's gone all the time. I got to take care of my house. Still got to help my son. He's in college right now, doing all these crazy things. I need more time to
Right.
myself. So if I'm sitting there trying to formulate emails all day, like I can do, 50 emails in 5 minutes based, just
Yeah.
put the email in, talk to ChatGPT. Hey, tell them yes, I can do this. Boom, and formulate it. And man, I've actually gotten comments from people who like at Zund and other companies I work with. Wow, that was a great email, man. Who put that together? I said, dude, that's ChatGPT, man. So
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT every time I do a post on SizzleFunk. So ChatGPT knows SizzleFunk. It knows
Oh
me.
yeah.
It knows it's organic. It knows what I'm doing. It knows all my ingredients. And then what it does for me is as I'm making, like I made as I was making the Korean hot honey, I changed things up midstream. So I'd hit the button on ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT on Doenjang, I'm not using 5 ounces, I'm using 1 ounce.
Right.
And
Right.
then and then it automatically changes, makes a new PDF, and it's very easy for people like us who are busy, who are making
Yeah.
recipes, just to track your stuff.
Yeah, and get organized. I use it a lot for organization.
Yeah,
Every once in a while, like before I was using placeholder images of like patterns and stuff to use just because like I
yeah,
wanted some of my own, but I actually like ended up commissioning one of my friends and I'm
yeah.
actually using his background on this episode. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
I can't wait
I
to see it.
oh
I can't
yeah,
wait to
it's
see
pretty
it.
radical, man. I'm excited. So
I
yeah,
love it.
I like I'll use it for placeholders if I'm doing images. Nothing I want to lean on, and I don't think anyone should ever lean on it for
Yeah,
putting something out that's professional or you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like we'd said before, if like you're gonna
Like
do something, go all the way, man. Go
like a
all the way.
logo,
Yeah.
like a logo. Like, so if I was gonna do a hot sauce brand logo for myself, and someone came to me, they can tell us, hey, I got $150. This is what I want,
Yeah.
and we'll do $150 logo for you.
Right,
But if
right.
you say, "Hey, I've got $1,500, I'm gonna do look." So the thing with Ron, like I said, I'm 56, so Ron and I are the same. Ron's a year older than me, and I've known Ron literally since I was 20, and he has made so many mistakes like me in business, where the mistakes is where we learn. It's like
Right.
I come on, man. I don't want someone fresh who's smart, who's made no mistakes. I want someone who's, I don't care if you're smart or not, book smart, whatever. How many mistakes have you made and what did you learn from it? And that's where, they always say true wisdom comes from pain.
Yep. Yeah, you're not wrong, dude.
True wisdom comes from pain. And that's like, okay, if you don't believe me, take your iron, touch the iron, and when you burn the crap out of your hand, oh, and you never touch the iron again. That's what I mean by true wisdom comes from pain, or a
Yep.
broken heart, or have you. So it's
Yeah.
like, just tell people what you want. I've been posting and trying to post on branding and saying it and putting it out there. And then I go to ChatGPT and I say, hey, ChatGPT, I just want to do a post. Let's, get all the hashtags for me. It does everything for me and it makes these really cool narratives for me, but it's all my verbiage. It's all my
Absolutely.
thought process, but
Absolutely.
it's after the fact, and it kind of knows and understands, and it just puts a polished edge on everything, because
Yeah.
you don't want to look sloppy. You don't want to, you can
No.
have fun,
You can make it
right?
sound like you, and if it real I notice that sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, I wrote this, please clean it up." It'll use
Yeah.
some word I don't use, and I literally tell it, "Never use that again." And I
Never
say,
use that word again.
yeah, memory updated." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah. Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, please stop.
We do the $200 a month one because we
Yeah.
use it for other things, which is really cool. ChatGPT for business does a lot of other stuff, from emails to everything, and it
Right.
does a lot of algorithms for you too, when you're trying to figure out, what's really cool is, once I figured out the hot sauce, and let's say I make a gallon ferment,
Right.
and let's say I get a 5 gallon ferment, and I now I have a 5 gallon ferment. It will scale up after I've figured out all the ounces and weights and everything and what I want to do. It will automatically scale up from there. So if I do 5 gallons, it'll tell me, oh, you use 16 ounces of this. Oh, now you're using 36 ounces
Right. Have you
without
ever
me.
found it to be uh, overestimating some things sometimes, like a
Oh
certain,
yeah,
like
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
100%.
yeah, and
Well,
it's
because
like,
it's not human,
it's like
it
right,
doesn't taste, and
right.
it's
It's just
pulling the information from the internet. And not to get off the subject, but what will change for everybody, hot sauce growers,
yeah,
everybody, what's going to change is, I've been following this since 1999. There's a guy named Jordy Rose. He's the one. So if you Google anything, you're talking to Jordy Rose's computers. So it's called a D Wave. So the D Wave was the first Google computer. NASA had one, Google, and so on and so on. So now that they're not qubits. So now they're getting ready to go into qubits. So Nvidia and those guys are getting ready to release,
right,
so that quantum AI with ChatGPT, as long as it's unbiased. If it's biased, it's going to look like Terminator. We're
absolutely.
we're doomed. But literally in 100 years from now, listen, people
You're
don't do
not
it. So
wrong, dude.
100 years from now, you'll be in a spaceship where your brain will and your lungs will adjust to the methane gas on another planet, and your spaceship will self-heal. I'm not wrong. This
No,
is
you're
this is
not.
proven technology. It's coming. So within 3 to 5 years, quantum AI is going to change everything. So your recipes, everything is going to change across the board. Hopefully for the best. I think a lot of it, I think security, I think a lot of it was secure, like with Bitcoin and all
Right,
the things happening. Right now the security is not that great. People are being hacked left and right.
right,
And so I think a lot of the biggest thing is insecurity. So with a full AI, full AI will actually be able to go and uncover all the secrets that government, you won't be able to hide anything anymore.
right. Let's see the
That
damn
it's
UFOs, man.
I know
Let's
Bigfoot,
let's yeah, let's feed
Loch
Bigfoot
Ness
some
monster.
fucking sizzle
So
funk.
I've never seen. I know I want an alien. I'll just give the alien some sizzle funk.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Loch Ness monster. I've never seen a Bigfoot. I've seen UFOs in the sky. I
Yeah.
think everybody wants to believe in Bigfoot and in aliens. I think
Yeah.
everybody wants to believe in that. Or think we're not alone. And like if you look at things like I do, I have a website that I'm building and I'm supporting. So James Webb Space Telescope has all the
Yeah.
brand news. So I'm a big geek. I'm a nerd
Yeah,
just
I
like
love
you.
that.
So I downloaded all 200 of their images, and I've got a website that's up where you can buy. It's my screen on my computer, my back screen. I've got 8 foot prints of these at my office hanging on my wall. The pillars of the gods. And so
Hmm.
for me, because it makes you feel humble,
Right.
we're just a grain of sand.
So
We're
there's
just a
like there's this punk band, the Vandals. They're from
yeah,
California, but
yeah. I know who they are.
one of their songs has the lyric literally says, "You were just a speck in a universe of turds."
Yeah,
And
pretty
and
much.
it's true. It's true, no matter how you look at it, whether you're a turd or not, but still.
So stop, like you said, elitism. The
Yeah.
elitism
Yeah.
isn't here. So stop taking yourself so
Yeah,
seriously.
right. Just
God,
spread
just
the love, man.
be creative, have fun, do things. And like I said,
Yeah,
spirit,
man.
mind, and body. That's all I'm looking at. I'm looking to always, like each day, just like I just joke around. It's like 0.0001% better than the
Right.
day I was before. So yesterday, I want to continue with my diet, continue working
Yep.
out, continue training and perfecting things. And I think, I think the emotional intelligence of planet Earth is still on a low volume scale. I don't think we're spiritually or emotionally intelligent enough for another intelligent being
No.
to
They're
visit
probably
us
watching from
just
far,
yet.
like
I
they
don't know about
they're,
those
they're
guys.
nuking, they're blowing each other up over there.
Yeah,
Um,
that's yeah, world events and politics. We don't need to discuss any of that. It's
no, we do
all
not. No.
crazy.
Yeah, that
People,
shit's way too crazy, and we'll
yeah,
we'll we'll, we'll
we'll
keep
leave
that
that alone.
between us. But
Just give them a we'll
yeah,
just give them some hot sauce.
yeah, that's what I want. I
Are
think.
you ready to try it now?
Oh,
You ready
I
to try
am
some? What are you going to try
absolutely.
first? The hot
So
sauce or the
we're gonna
honey?
actually do the honey first.
Oh
So I'll
yeah, good
flash
luck with
that.
that.
Bah, bah, bah. What do you think's hotter?
You know what? The honey has just got a more sweeter palate, but
Okay,
they're both about the same range.
okay.
But the Sizzle Funk, the Soul Ablaze hot sauce isn't, and it's got a cap on it too. It'll have a cap
As
when you pull it
another
off.
like foil.
Yeah, when you
Eh,
unwrap it, you got to peel it off. Those tops are that's another thing, bottling and everything. So it should be stuck to and you just peel it off. Those are self-healing ones. You put them on, they're self-healing.
oh
Yeah.
my
So,
god, Woo, it
dude,
smells fantastic, brother.
quality, quality, quality.
Dude, I love it.
So,
And actually, hold on, I need to get this on camera too.
oh
Is
yeah,
the
yeah,
sticker we were talking about it earlier?
right.
All
I
those
love
little
them.
details, guys. Like I'm
Right.
telling you, just go the extra mile. I know it might cost you a little more, but it's so freaking worth it, dude. You want people to
It
notice your
is.
stuff, dude.
It
You're putting
is.
your heart and soul into this. Just go the extra mile.
What is $50 more on, when
It
overall
is.
sales for the
Yeah.
year?
Say that earns you an extra like $500 because you spent
You,
the extra 50 on stickers, you know?
and it does come back. Anything you put into
Absolutely.
marketing comes back. It does come back.
Trusty spoon and my sauce
Uh-oh.
spoon.
I'm curious. Now, you've never tasted this before,
I
so
haven't. Yeah, exactly. And I
the
waited for you, bro. I like, so
the
this is
guys
what
at
I do.
nice. Let me see. I'm gonna shut up.
Uh,
Oh God.
oh, God. So where can you
That's still
see
not
it
that
from
bad.
here? No.
Yes.
I,
Yeah, I
I
can
try
see
not
it.
to kill myself on the
No,
show,
your
but
palate's good though. I think because you have a hot sauce palate, you're good.
that's actually hot, dude. And it's wicked good. Super
Yeah.
sweet, not killing
Yeah.
me. But if I used a ton of it, I'm probably gonna so yeah, what I want to do with this stuff is I want to use it on like a fried chicken sandwich. I know we were
Yeah.
like laughing about fried chicken, but
Yeah.
like maybe like some like chicken and waffles or something.
No, it's insane. My son
Woo!
makes chickens and I know,
Holy
right?
balls, bro. No, I'm
I,
going for a
I
second one.
told you, I
Oh, it's
told
good.
you
It's good.
that's the hottest honey. So the hot sauce for blood, they do their whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
sent, they didn't ask for that, but I sent him that, and he ended up doing the show on that.
Mm.
He loved the show. He loved the honey so
Oh, I'm
much. That's what
glad
he
he,
did the show on. It was so funny. So I'm sending him the yuzu, and so the yuzu is probably 50% of that, the heat.
the heat was okay.
Yeah, it's probably 50% of that. And then
And
the
that's good.
Korean just has more umami depth. It's
Yeah,
probably 25% less heat. They're not, that's hot. There's a lot of peppers in that.
that is hot. It's not killing me though, brother. Like,
No, but
but
your
if I
palate.
exactly. If I ate more of this, I would probably be sweating a little, dude. I had my friends over a couple nights ago, and we probably cooked like 8 pounds of wings or something. And so we like run the gauntlet. We set up
Yeah.
all the sauces,
Oh
and
my
we go a
gosh.
circle, and
I want to
like
see
you
that
pick one,
video.
you pick one, you pick.
We should
I
do that
should,
video.
I should, dude. I really should.
You should do that.
I was thinking about it. I just got to make sure they're cool with it first. So I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking video this. But
Video
so
dying.
yeah, so my my partner got me this hot sauce around Christmas time, and I had only tasted like a spoon, like maybe not even enough to like fill this spoon. And I'm like, well, that's freaking hot. I think it's from Torchbearer. I don't know if you've seen their
Mm-mm.
sauce.
No,
It's
no.
Reaper garlic. But so the tradition is when it's the last round of wings, like when
Yeah.
there's only one each for us, we
Yeah.
do the hottest sauce, and that was the hottest sauce I had. And I didn't dab it on, bro. I like poured it on and like shook the
Oh,
shit out of it. And then my buddy and I are like, oh my God, dude. We had
what are you
mango
doing?
juice. We're chugging mango juice because mangoes help.
Yeah.
Dude, it
Mangoes.
was
Oh,
wild, bro. So I could see if I overuse this, I'd be in that situation. But I will also say I could use this for a lot of stuff and not hate my
yes.
life. It's
I
freaking
use it on a
awesome,
lot of
guys.
different stuff. Steak. It's good on steak, actually. It's really
Really, I could
crazy.
see that, bro. I could see
And
that,
salmon, too. A finish on
guys.
salmon.
This is the first sizzle funk I've tried, and it's sizzling my funk. Please check it out. Like when you this one's out of stock right now, right? But he's got the yuzu one
Yeah.
coming out.
So the yuzu's in stock now. It goes on stock tomorrow, and then next week when I have my labels, I have all the Korean ready too. Seoul Ablaze is ready.
Hmm.
That'll be on for sale next week. But the hot honey, see, so again, it's nature, right? I'm not going to go to the store and buy peppers.
No,
The sizzle funk is me. It's the peppers I grow. My relationship with them, right? And so I'm pretty much out of here. I got some frozen ones in there, but I'm not. I'm waiting for fresh.
right,
And
right.
so I've got like maybe 3, 4 months left. So I have a bunch of plants that are flowering right now.
Yep.
A bunch are starting to go. And I had
Oh,
some, I
man.
only had out of all my plants, I only had two that failed on me. They were both peat or California Reapers.
Yeah,
They didn't
I've tried to grow those a couple times.
they didn't like it.
They're kind of a tough one, I find. I've tried to grow
Yeah.
those, and back to what you're saying, dude. It's like it's what you grow. I talk to for my friends and peers often about like, are you growing a garden? I'm like, yep. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing some like beef steaks or tomatoes
Yeah.
and shit,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I would love to do that, but I only grow
Right.
things that I can't buy at the store. Like I could
Right.
go, to Whole Foods and buy a beefsteak
Yes.
tomato if I wanted, but
Yes.
I can't, get like a
Yes.
Carolina Reaper at any market
Yes.
around here if I wanted. Like some places, not where I live, man. You have to do them yourself here. And
So that's
I
the whole
had
point, right?
I had a
Right?
Reaper plant for 3.5 years. I had the same one, and then I
Yeah.
moved and I had to kill it. It got sick, but like I would keep those plants going for as long as I could.
I
So
have one habanero. The one how it's a habanero ghost in the same big pot. I've had them for 4 years.
yeah, man, they'll live. They'll live forever.
So the thing with plants though, right? So it's what you feed them too. The
Right.
soil. So I buy very expensive soil. I
Hmm.
use Fox Farms. So I use guanaco. So I'm using and I mix it up. It's like I think people too. We want variety, right?
Right. Right.
So I change up. I always use bat guano and I always use so I have my own worm farm. I've had worm
That's
farm for
sick.
20 years. So I'm always got worm tea and everything. So the peppers the whole point, the pepper's got to be healthy. And capsaicin and pepper is super good for you.
It is.
Super good. So even on my website, if you go, it says why the about. It has a whole list of things why you should eat peppers, cancer fighting. It's good for your joints, capsaicin, all that stuff. Yeah, right. The labels. Thanks, Ron. I love you, Ron. And he's got the honey coming out of his mouth. So the other one's
Yeah,
got flames.
felt
So the
appropriate.
sinner's last breath, that logo, it's got the cross on the side. It's got a prayer on the side. So it's baptized by fire. I can't wait till that one comes out. It's gonna be it's gonna be.
But
I want that to be like on Hot Ones if they took it on Hot Ones and they're like, oh crap, this is hot.
it's like shakes. When I eat
Yeah,
it,
that one's gonna have a life of its own. So everything I've got a T-shirt that I did like hottest funk, what the funk, and then
yeah.
each one will have its own T-shirt. So we're doing a hot honey Korean a soul barbecue one. So we got that T-shirt coming out, and then Sinner's Last Breath will have its own. So I have my two funny shirts, and then I've got the ones with the hot honey with the Korean style. It's got the tiger and dragon on
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
Ron's working on those right now,
Sick.
and it's just for us. It's just building the brand. And again, I wanted to take, like you said, I can't go to the store and buy a peach scorpion, a jellyfish, a
Right.
purple UFO,
Right.
a habanero. I can't buy all these. So what I can do is I can grow them and then I can combine them, not
Mhm.
use commercial habaneros. Um, and I used habaneros like 5 years ago one time, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. I
I'm
like
so
habaneros. I'm not
I'll say
mad.
like the last dude that I talked to, his main sauce was a habanero sauce. Probably one of my favorite sauces,
Yeah,
but he didn't make it all about the habanero. He made it all
yeah,
about the flavor of the sauce itself.
yeah, yeah,
And I've eaten most of that bottle at this point, but like I said, dude, like you can go anywhere and buy habaneros. You
yeah,
can't go somewhere and get a peach ghost or actually,
yeah.
where's that vial at? Like, so I'm just gonna put this on camera.
The
Um,
vial, the vial.
well, like the ingredients, brother, it's
I know.
part of my French. It's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you
yeah.
have it categorized too by like we have these kinds of reapers,
Yes.
these kinds of
Yeah.
ghosts,
Yeah. Yeah.
these other
Yeah.
peppers, and
My
it's a wide variety, a
my niece
wide
was like
variety.
my niece Chantel, thank you, Chantel, did that for me too, because she was like, hey, instead of trying to list all these, because it's a tiny bottle, right?
Right,
And you can only go so big on the label. And so that was the thing. We were going back to farmers markets and everything. So farmers markets in California, you don't even have to have you don't even have to have the calories or anything. You can grow at a farmers market. If you grow out of your house off the
right,
internet from California, you don't even have to put calories in. I mean, I listing because of food allergies.
right.
There's
It's like that
sesame in
here with
this.
like the seasonings. You can do that here with
Yeah.
seasonings.
Yeah.
It's just anything that's acidic, you need
Yes.
this label
Yep.
and
Yep.
like a batch
Yep.
number and all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff.
All that.
And
Yep.
now that
Yep.
I have this in my hand,
Yeah. Try that. So this,
I
so the first time I tasted this myself, 6 months ago, it's kind of indescribable. I'm curious. It's funny. It's almost like not nerve-wracking, but it's interesting to watch someone try it for the first time because it's almost indescribable. And
yeah.
but since you're like the focus is on it and your thought process, your brain is going to be thinking, okay, yeah, clean your palate. Your brain's going to be trying to figure things out, but there's like fish sauce in here, and all these different things. There's red
Woo!
miso. It's aged red miso. So this is good on rice and eggs. And man, I put this on everything too as
This
well. I
is
put this on
good.
myself.
Oh, I haven't tasted it, but
It's
it definitely has that Asian wit to it. I
yeah,
don't know if
yeah,
you've ever had like
ginger.
yeah, ginger, the sweet it almost tastes or smells like I don't want to say teriyaki, but it has that like
Yeah,
sweet you have
there's
soy in
soy.
here.
Yeah, soy
Yeah,
sauce.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
organic.
so I'm just gonna go over the ingredients on this real quick before I taste it, just so people know what we're eating. So the first ingredients, Korean chili peppers, which are gochugaru chilies,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Um, Carolina peppers, ghost peppers, habaneros, red bell peppers for sweetness, I'm assuming,
Yes.
shiitake mushrooms, Asian pear, pineapple, onion, garlic, ginger, gochujang, which is a fermented chili paste, Korean chili paste, red miso paste, fish sauce. So not vegan, guys. Sorry, that's okay. Honey,
Yeah. Sorry.
sesame oil, sesame seeds, water, rice vinegar. You don't see that often. Hot sauce, soy sauce, lime juice, kosher salt, gojigaru. Again, signature sizzle funk roasted spice blend, which is
Yeah.
I'm assuming is Uncle
Yes.
Tommy's blend here. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is not going to be very kind, but I
So
don't
there's a
know.
tablespoon of that. So this is a gallon ferment, one gallon,
Oh,
and there was
okay,
a tablespoon of that in there. And yeah, this is going to be interesting.
little
I love
goes
it.
a long
This
way.
is my favorite. This is my favorite hot
Oh
sauce.
shit, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not eating all that.
Yeah, I
I'll try.
wouldn't do that. You should do your show with napkins too.
Oh my god. I usually do have them,
No, this
but
is good. I love it when you make mistakes. This is awesome.
yeah,
You,
absolutely. Check
you
this
get to
out.
see the joke.
Oh
All right, well,
god, this is gonna suck.
no, it's not. It's not that
No,
bad,
no, no.
right?
It's
It's
not
not
what I
that bad.
expected. No, it's fantastic, dude. It's
Yeah, it's not.
fantastic.
It's not
And
that
what
hot.
No, no, it's hot, but it's not going to
It's
murder
not.
me in my sleep. It's
No.
it's funny. All those things that I had said where it's so sweet and soy
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah.
they don't really come out that much. I think it's not like they
No.
do, but it's not on the forefront like it is
No.
when you smell it, like 'cause you get that like nice ginger and my God. So what I think I wanted to do with this one, Thomas, was oh, that's so good, dude. I definitely probably should just eat an whole spoon. So what I want to do with this is I wanted to do like a stir fry with like some soba or udon.
No. 100%.
100%.
100%.
That's what
So
I envisioned.
so my one of
That's
my
good.
employees one of my employees is he's Filipino and the other one
Yeah.
is half white, half Japanese. So the Filipino, he's so funny and he cooks. So if you know Filipinos, my wife is half Filipino. They love to cook chicken adobo. So he
Oh my
comes in
God,
once
bro.
a week with a new recipe on something how he uses it. So his family got some of my peppers and they gift me back a bunch of my own peppers. So they
Oh
grow.
wow.
So I gave him like 10 plants, and then at the end of the season, he comes in with bags of like reapers,
Oh, it's like
and
these are
and
yours.
yeah, and they
That's
say, "Hey, this is off your plant." They even say it's Tommy's plants on him. It's hilarious. But
amazing.
so and then the other one was that hot sauce. Yeah, he put that in his ramen, and he was like, "Oh, I love that." Yeah, it has a different hit to it, and I like it because it's not like anything I've ever tasted.
It's so smooth, dude. And that's the fermentation really coming out
Yes,
too. Like we
the
talked about
fermentation
that.
is key. I can't ever do anything not fermented now.
And that's the Seoul Ablaze guys from Sizzle Funk. Holy shit, bro. It
So
is hot.
the only thing I'm going to do with that one is to put a little bit more gochujang. I'm gonna because right now there's only about 3 ounces in there. I'm gonna double it, go up to 6 ounces.
Yeah, that'll definitely funk it up a bit too. Cause
Yeah,
let's see how I said that.
yeah,
Dude, it'll definitely because like gochujang has a very
distinct.
it does. It's almost like you can tell it's fermented, but it's like sweet.
But I
It's
went
weird.
bigger. See, I did this recipe smaller, and then I went bigger. And when I went bigger, when I scaled up, I didn't scale up enough. So I probably put a little bit more toasted sesame oil and a little more toasted sesame seeds, and I learned from that. So when I did the Korean hot honey, I scaled up a couple of the things, and it came out perfect. I won't change a thing.
Ah, I wouldn't,
Yeah,
dude. Oh my
you're just
God.
learning. We're just learning. Yeah, it's not too. Yeah, try that. Put that on your tongue.
All right. I'm kind of scared, dude. I think
It's
so. I don't know. I might. Maybe I will. I was thinking of just kind of sprinkling it on to the tasting segment, but I'll at least
yeah.
open it up and
Smell it.
get it in
Oh
my
God.
freaking nostril.
Start coughing. Not bad.
Smells like super hot.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Okay, so I
But
have the tiniest amount
I
of
can't
Cheeto
see that
dust on
yet.
my finger, bro.
Oh, there it is. Satan's chafe. I call it Satan's ass chafe.
I didn't put nearly as much as I should, but I can tell I should not have put more.
But see, that's for people like you though, and other people. So, like you said, you can't
I can
find
taste
products,
it.
right?
Yeah.
But you can. But let's say you're a guy and you like chili and you like chilies and you make this, you make that. Okay, well then buy this or get something like this, and then you add this to your foods
Right,
as a
absolutely,
chef.
absolutely, and that's not even necessarily just for flavor, because
Yeah,
there's very light flavor to this, guys.
yeah,
It tastes like dried chilies.
yeah.
It's hot, so like if you really want to manage your heat levels, a
There you
pinch
go.
will even go a long way. Like he was saying, like this could last a long time if you're eating it regularly. You don't need a lot of it.
No.
But if you want, if you want to fuck your friends up, then like please, like
Well, people don't realize the time, effort, and energy. Look, let's talk about money.
yeah,
I'm making no money off of this brand, this product right now, but I am paying myself, my soul, so much. Just this conversation,
yeah,
talking about what we love, and I'm learning too, like listening to you, watching you. This is an opportunity. See, people, I want to do a podcast, that's whatever. No, oh my God, this is an opportunity to talk to someone on the other side of the country who doesn't have, maybe has never tasted this flavor profile. I'm
yeah.
going to get instant feedback. I'm going to get a real email from you talking about certain stuff. This whole process is all about us learning.
Absolutely, brother. And like that's why I'm doing this. I want to connect to people that are making
Yeah.
crazy shit and trying it with them and giving them my first
Right.
reaction. That's why I didn't try it till we talked, bro.
Yeah, that
You
was
know, and I
genius.
told you that, and like
It was genius.
the second dude I had talked to, so let me reverse a bit. When I started doing this, I was only gonna highlight one one sauce per company or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and I ended up buying a few from people. So then I was like, you know what, just gonna try them all on the show. So the
Yeah.
first dude I actually was able to buy stuff from locally here, our one sauce facility, pretty cool, man. Like whole kitchen.
Oh, nice,
Shared
nice.
a spot with this dude who like dehydrates candy and shit.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, really cool. Nice dude. Excuse me. Got the burps, bro. Um, anyway, I bought some of his stuff. I bought a really nice pepper jelly from him, barbecue sauce, and
Nice.
I mixed those two together and did like Swedish meatballs, a chicken sandwich. Bomb, bro. Um, and
Nice.
then
Nice.
what like a buffalo sauce that he made, green verde sauce, and a smoky one. All of his sauces have ghost peppers in it too.
Nice.
Really
Nice.
sweet story. His wife got him a couple of ghost pepper plants one year, and he just like grew them out and was like, "What do I do with all these?" And she's like, "Make sauce." And they started a sauce
Right.
company. I was like, that's really freaking sweet. I love that story.
Yeah.
But damn,
Happy
dude.
accidents. Happy
And
accidents. And like for everybody
oh
who knows,
shit.
like Matt actually goes on your website and buys your product.
Yeah,
And then
I buy it straight up. I'm not asking for money, dude. Nothing, just time, and that's what
yeah.
it's about. Is just connecting with people and
Yeah.
hearing their stories. You know, it's
You
inspiring to
don't know where
me.
that
And
leads to, Matt.
right,
It could lead to other
yeah,
things.
exactly. You
Yeah.
know, I want to hear people's stories, and you know, like you, man, you're on the other side of the country, bro. And I'm gonna say it. I didn't say it earlier. Should have. You're the first person out of New Hampshire that is not
Yeah.
in New Hampshire that I've interviewed, and I've been very excited to talk to you, man. So I want to say thank you for giving me
Yeah.
your time, bro.
That was fun. New Hampshire, I've been once. Like I was telling you, but when we were
Yeah.
talking on
Oh
the
yeah,
phone.
Winnipesaukee.
Yeah, Lake Winnipesaukee. My first encounter with leeches.
Yeah. It's funny because they're not. I've never swam in Winnipesaukee, but I've never got a leech. I lived in New Hampshire most of my life, but this river that would run behind my cousin's house when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
guess, she went into the water and came out with leeches. It was like, huh. I only think
I
of
wouldn't
like
go in. My
Stand
cousin
By
came out
Me,
with
dude.
them.
You ever see
Yeah.
Stand By Me when he
Yeah,
gets
of
the leech
course.
on his
Yeah.
nads? You're like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
oh
yeah. My cousin, or I think he was my uncle, had went in and he came out and there was like three leeches on his leg. And he was like, just flicks them off.
yeah.
It's no big
No
deal.
thanks. Yeah,
I was
hard
like,
pass.
no.
Them
And
and ticks. Like I get ticks all the time hiking out here, bro.
well, yeah, ticks
Ticks are so bad.
and my friend lives in Arkansas. So my friend is in Arkansas, is Barry. He buys my stuff. He loves my stuff. He bought a couple of the users. He pre-orders. He buys everything I sell. He's so funny. And to this day, ticks, chiggers, all that stuff. And
Yeah,
I visited
fuck
him a
that
few
shit.
times. Man, it's crazy. And people in Arkansas like heat.
Yeah.
They like heat.
Oh, they do,
They
man.
they love heat. And he was like, nah, I gave him a tropical heat wave. And everybody says it's really hot. He's like, oh man, I loved it. It wasn't hot enough. I was like, okay, so your
Yeah,
palate likes heat.
dude. I lived in Florida when I was a kid. My dad and I would go get wings, and they had like the different levels, like
Yeah.
hotter,
Yeah.
napalm, and I've eaten napalm wings, and he's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "This is for sissies." I was probably like 8 or 9, dude. So
Yeah. Just the
freaking
Thai
psycho.
restaurants. If you're at a
Yeah,
traditional Thai place and they say go super hot, no. I
yeah.
always go like
Oh, dude,
50%.
it's funny you say that. There's a place here. So there's a couple Asian restaurants around here, and one of them will be like, "Hey, I want extra heat. I want this to be really
Mm,
hot." You know, we'll
mm.
order it hot, and then we'll call them and say, "Hey, can you please add more chilies to that?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah," and they never do. And those other place that's like down the road from them, I'm like, "Hey, I want this hot. It is really freaking hot." So
I took a
yeah,
picture of this. I'm gonna post
excellent,
that
bro.
later.
Heck
Yeah, I
yeah,
took a
dude.
picture. Here, do
Excellent.
the peace sign.
Where am I at?
There you go. Cool. That's perfect.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah,
because I
bro.
can put, that's the thing is like Instagram and all this stuff, it's connecting. People
Yeah,
have a fallacy of, oh, they're direct followers. Like on my business one, I'm close to 8,000. I have friends who literally have like 400,000 followers
yeah, yeah,
on, and I mean, they're artists and people I deal with, they're really good artists. And, at 400,000 followers, they basically are just selling to their downline. And
yeah.
so so I think there are some false, implications of thinking of somebody. And I think a lot of people look at somebody and they judge you based on how many people are following you. I was like,
Right.
well,
Gotta
that's just
start
over
somewhere,
here.
man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I
you
have
got to
two other
start
pages
somewhere.
that have like at
Yeah,
least,
yeah,
1,200 to 1,800, and that's just
yeah.
me messing around and not
I don't
even
even care
doing.
anymore.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
doesn't.
care.
It doesn't matter
I just
as
want
long as you're
quality.
doing quality, and if you're like doing what you want to do and it makes you happy, that's
Yeah.
really what matters, dude. So, again, brother, I think we're gonna wrap it up here
All
on
right.
the video.
That was
Thanks
fun.
for coming on, Thomas. It's
Thanks,
been a
Matt. You're
pleasure. I
awesome.
love your sauce. You're awesome, dude. Let's do it again
Thank you.
soon. And I
All right,
want
brother.
to try that freaking yuzu, man. So
I got you, man. I got you. I'll send you one of these. Don't go to the site. Don't buy them. I'm sending you two for free. Don't worry about it.
thank you, brother.
Yeah, I got one of each here sitting here for you.
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, brother.
Hey everyone, this is the tasting part of the show where I eat the products presented on today's episode with Thomas from Sizzlefunk on a dish. Sometimes I'll do a tasting with wings, other times I'll do a tasting with whatever was suggested by the creator, but today we're going to be doing vegetable stir fry with hot honey drizzled all over it, as well as some tempura coated chicken with the Seoul Ablaze smeared all over it. Got a really good toss on that, so let's see what it's all about. The stir fry was unreal. I started by tossing some tempura battered chicken and a generous amount of Seoul Ablaze. I then gave it a good shake to coat every single piece in that deep, flavorful sauce. And I really, really coated this stuff, like, no lie. Give it a look. Then I sauteed a mix of fresh veggies and a little olive oil with a splash of soy sauce. After all that, I added some egg noodles to the mix, and once everything was cooked just right, I plated it up with veggies and noodles, and I poured hot honey all over the top. Let me tell you, that stuff is really hot, man. The sweetness hits first, but that Reaper really shows up fast and does not mess around. It lingers, but in the best way, making every bite even better. I couldn't get enough. And as for the Seoul Ablaze sauce, pure umami-packed goodness. It's got that deep, savory, Korean-inspired flavor, sweet, garlicky with an earthiness from the mushrooms. And a fun fact, Thomas fermented this batch much longer than he had planned. And honestly, that happy little accident made it even better in my opinion. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next episode of Fire and Flavor. Peace out.